Hey everybody, this is Dave Blair, and I'm out today. It is August 1st of 2026. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. Uh, Cave Creek Road is right over there, and Pinnacle Peak is right behind me. Um, yeah, so I did have a flat tire on the front, and although these tires do say tubeless on the tire, that means that they can be used on a tubeless rim, which this one is not. So I put in a Michelin heavy duty tube in that tire, so my flat is fixed. All right, so it's supposed to be a high of like 116 today in Phoenix, extreme heat warning. So I'm out here super early. It's I think it's like 5:30 or something. But I'm just going to go out here and do my little desert loop that I like to ride. And I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time out here because, again, it's supposed to get super hot today. So, yeah, it's 5:43 right now. I got the DMD2 map up. Now, I kind of wanted to, let's see, I want to talk about a few things, actually. Again, it's hard to ride and talk at the same time, but let's see. So I kind of want to talk about entertainment. So I'm in my 50s, and when I grew up, we all watched TV. I remember when VCRs came about, but like before VCRs, you watch TV or programs or whatever, and I remember like WKRP in Cincinnati and Soap and Benson, Welcome Back Kotter, Cheers, Three's Company. I liked watching the comedy sitcom type stuff, and eventually went up through. I watched Friends and Frasier. And it's like, well, back in the day, you had to deal with commercials, but there weren't that many. Yes, there were, probably 2 commercial breaks in a 30-minute program. Anyway, it gave you a good time to, you couldn't pause TV back then, but it gave you a good time to get up, go to the bathroom, grab a drink or something like that. But TV was okay. Again, it's like you knew what you were getting into. You could count on, a good show to maybe give you a laugh or two, keep you entertained, and it was just entertainment. And again, it's like I remember like Friends and Frasier. Frasier was a good one. I really enjoyed Frasier. Yeah, I don't know. It's like everything was entertaining, but it didn't have like an agenda, And then something happened about the time of like Ellen and Will and Grace, shows like that where, I remember, the big thing about Ellen is she came out as a lesbian or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. That's about the time I stopped watching TV. And I don't watch TV now. Occasionally, if my wife is watching a Dateline, I might watch that. But other than that, I don't really watch TV at all. Again, it's just like they thought it would be a good idea to push some agendas on people. Basically the woke stuff. It's like they just started shoving it down your throat, whether you wanted to see it or not. I don't know, but once they were like, hey, we can push an agenda with entertainment, that's when I was like, all right, I'm out. And about that time, Netflix became a big thing. So I remember, we had Netflix, and I started watching a lot of movies. And I remember I binge watched, let's see, I binge watched Lost, which was not a very good show. It was stupid. But Breaking Bad, I binge watched that. That was good. I watched all those. I binge watched The Walking Dead up to a certain point until that Negan guy came along, and then I stopped watching that. And I also binge watched Dexter. I mean, Dexter was okay. Oh, I want to talk Breaking Bad. Okay, so spoiler alert if you haven't watched it. I'm going to talk about the ending. But yeah, so the ending of Breaking Bad, they Walter ends up getting shot and he dies in the meth lab, surrounded by all this meth that he had made. And it's like, I think a better ending to that would have been if he would have smoked some meth. I mean, here, he spent the whole time making supposedly this great meth and he never tried it. But, he knew he was going to die, so that would have been his opportunity to try it. I don't know. I just think that would have been a fitting ending. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, so Netflix was a thing, and I watched a lot of movies. And at the time, too, I was also playing video games. But then, Netflix kind of went bad. Like, again, they're like, hey, we got all these eyeballs. People watching these shows. Let's create some shows and push them to everybody so that they can, because they're not watching TV anymore, and they're not receiving our agenda. So Netflix took a hard turn into wokeism, I would say. And, they really started pushing these shows that I did not want to watch. They started losing movies that I did want to watch to other platforms like Amazon Prime, and this is when all the spin-offs started to happen, when, it's like Paramount and, just, you guys, if you lived through it, you know what happened. It's like everybody started their own streaming service, and then they wanted you to subscribe to their service. And anyway, but the whole movie industry also, they stopped making good movies and telling good stories, and they started, changing the narrative. I think the most notable one was probably Captain Marvel. It's like, oh, we have to make her more powerful than any of the guys, and it's like you had this huge influx of, strong female leads and strong female superheroes, and, they were better than men and all this other stuff. I don't know. Again, it's the whole agenda thing again. Anyway, so at that point, like, especially like Avengers End War or Endgame or whatever, the Avengers movie where they had, like all the women came together, and I don't know, it just, you had that whole narrative thing. I kind of stopped watching movies at that point too. I'm like, you know what? You can push your agenda. I don't really care. I'm not going to watch it. So I stopped watching movies. I think most people don't even go to the cinema anymore, the movie theater. So, again, they ruined it. And then, I started playing a lot of more video games. And on the video game side too, it's like I was a PC gamer, and then I got into Xbox because of the cheating on PC. So mainly when I was a PC gamer, I played a lot of shooters, and I can remember thinking, at the time, most of your video games were offline. There wasn't, you played against the computer. You didn't play against other real people. And, I couldn't wait. I was like, oh, this will be so great when we can, I was in the infancy of, like, you could find an online match, against a real person. And that's when, like, online shooters started to happen, and it was great until, like, people started cheating. And I go back to this one where I was in a shooter, and somebody was outside the map, and they could shoot in and kill us, but we couldn't shoot them because they were outside the map. And I'm like, all right, that's it. I didn't fully get out. I switched over to the Xbox because the Xbox had less cheating, and anyway, that didn't last long either. There was cheating on the Xbox also, which was really disappointing because I thought, oh, this will be cool. And it's like, well, I really miss mouse and keyboard support, but I mean, it was okay. Played a lot of Halo and stuff like that, and it was good. I enjoyed it. But again, like, even on the Xbox ecosystem, people started cheating on there, and it was hard to get a fair game. And you just knew they were cheating. I mean, and it's like, oh, I thought Xbox would be a better platform where it would stop. I mean, I understand PC's open, but Xbox was supposed to be closed. But people found a way to hack it. Anyway, I kind of moved into online racing games, and even there, you had cheaters, like, and it would be subtle. Like, they would change the weight of the car. Because I did a little research figuring out, like, how are they going so fast? And it's like, yeah, oh, they changed, maybe they take 100 pounds out of the car that you couldn't do. I mean, it was outside the game. They'd get into the files. And the reason I know they did that is because I did it once. I went in and changed the weight on my car. And I was like, oh, yeah, because you could go all the way down to 0 weight and you'd be, it doesn't matter. I just, I was like, oh, man, because I really wanted to race against real people. I think I want to be on that trail over there. And then I got into iRacing because they had better anti-cheat, as far as I could tell. Not that it was perfect, but I think it was better than some of the other games I was playing. And let's see. I started to get disappointed with video games in general when Forza Horizon 5 came out. Now, in that one, they had this thing where you could pick your pronouns, right? Which was totally stupid. There was no reason for it because they never even called you by a pronoun. They never used it, but they gave you the option to pick it, which was dumb because, again, they never said, oh, they, them. They never used your pronouns that you picked. It was just in there, as a sign of, hey, we're woke. We're giving you this that means nothing. Anyway, it looks like my friend Dave was here. All right, so yeah, so that was, I was like, oh, now they're coming to ruin video games, which they did. Also, I had pre-ordered Forza Motorsport, which, again, they had, promised, oh, it's rebuilt from the ground up and all this other stuff. Well, it wasn't. That game was such a disappointment, and I'm like, that's it. I'm out. I'm not buying video games anymore. I'm not I'm not supporting these people that keep, making trash. And the other thing too is, everyone's like, well, I don't understand what happened to the video game industry. Well, I can tell you one of the problems was that Microsoft went and bought up all these publishers, all these game, makers, and they, the people, the companies that they bought that were making good video games, I don't think wanted to be Microsoft owned, so they had a big influx of money. You have Microsoft money backing you now, and it's like they just stopped trying. They're like, fine, we'll just sit here and collect a paycheck. So Microsoft is the ones that I blame for ruining, because they push this agenda, and I think a lot of the companies didn't want to be owned by Microsoft. They didn't want those controls. They didn't want those. They wanted the money, but they did not want to be told that you have to push this agenda. Anyway, so again, video games were ruined. Like, they can't even tell a good story anymore. Again, they ruined Halo. They ruined Gears of War. They ruined Forza Motorsport. They ruined Forza Horizon. They ruined Fallout. I mean, everything they touched, they've ruined. Not to mention the new games that they were pushing. There's just disaster after disaster. So anyway, so that brings me to YouTube. All right. Now YouTube was, for me, has been great, because I can watch who I want to watch. And I watch, like I watch On the Road Adventure, I watch Dork in the Road, and I watch Big Rock Moto. I watch a lot of Itchy Boots, and there's a lot of creators that I watch, and I like to create on YouTube. Now, I will tell you too, I watch YouTube commercial free. I don't see any commercials. Most of the stuff I watch, I speed up a little bit. I usually watch it at like 1.25, maybe 1.5. I watch some news shows. I like RJ Talks, where he just discusses the news. Anyway, that's where I get my entertainment from, is YouTube. And I like to post on YouTube. I like to make videos. I don't make any money off YouTube. You got to have over 500 subscribers or something like that. So, I mean, I don't do it to make money. I just like to post. It's my hobby. And these videos that I make are mainly for me. If you enjoy them, that's great. But, yeah, I make these videos so that I can watch them. I enjoy watching some of my rides, and going back and looking and see what I've done and where I've been. To me, it's fun. And again, I post it in case anybody else is interested. They can watch it. If they're not, they don't have to watch it. But the problem with YouTube now is the AI videos. There's been a lot more of them. Alright, so I'm running this DMD app, and I'm seeing how it tracks me. But anyway, I need to spend more time with this so I can learn how to use it. So YouTube. And again, they're coming after YouTube, again, with the AI type videos and other things. Like, it can be hard to find the real people that you want to watch. And on some of the things that I can't block the ads on, there's a lot more ads too. And when I'm on my computer, I can watch commercial free. I don't get any ads. But if I'm watching on TV or something like that, I can't. I can do the little skip ad, but I get ads. Whee! Yeah, but they're trying to ruin YouTube with so many ads. And the other thing too is, like, Google's the one that makes all the money off those things. It's not the content creators. I mean, the content creators don't make much of money at all. That's why so many of those, they're pushing their own ads. All right. Anyway, yeah, there's just very few things left for us. And I'd also like to point out too, it's like, all the negative. Oh, this is deep. All right, hold on. All right, that wasn't too bad. All the negative things, like, that the things that that some people like to call other people, like racist, homophobic, and misogynist, and sexist, and all the ists and everything. I feel it's all aimed at white men. White men are the villain, and all the bad words apply to them. And that's me. I'm a white guy. It's just, I don't know, it just gets tiring after a point. But that looks, let's see. I'm not sure which side is better here. I may get stuck here. Alright, no problem. But yeah, just the attack on white men is getting a little ridiculous. And that's where we're at now. So, I've given up on TV. Okay, that's gone. Whee! I've given up on movies. I've given up on video games. I mean, I wouldn't say I've given up on all that stuff. I'm just saying it's been taken away from me, really, is how I feel. It's like you just ruin the experience. And it's like, yeah, I'm out. I don't need you. I can make my own content. I can make my own videos. And I can watch, again, I can watch the trips that I've gone on. I can do my own thing. I can entertain myself. I mean, just learning how to edit video. I can spend a whole evening just editing a video. And again, I can take a whole day to make one, and I can spend a whole evening editing one. I don't, I can entertain myself is the point. If you're gonna ruin everything and call, people like me names constantly, that's it. I still got motorcycles. I could go play golf. I could, I can do a number of things that I don't need your entertainment shoved down my throat with an agenda, is what I'm saying. But you're ruining it. You're ruining it for everybody. And it's like, just stop. Just make entertaining stuff again. Stop trying to push an agenda. Just, they don't have anything left. They can't come up with any ideas. That's what it is. They rehash everything. A lot of times you see a good movie and you find out it's a remake of an older movie. It's just pathetic. Alright. Just felt like I wanted to come out and vent a little bit. Or not even vent, because I don't care. I do care for the next generation, though. I mean, they don't have any good entertainment. I just saw a sheriff come by in an F-150. And it looked like he kept going. I was like, oh, is he going to come over and tell me I can't ride here? Alright, I'm about done with my loop anyway. Yeah, so I'll just keep doing my own thing. And if somebody makes something good, something, you know, whether it's a TV show or movie or video game, and I hear about it, maybe I'll check it out. I mean, I'm not totally gone, but I'm about to be. And if they screw up YouTube, I'm sure there'll be another service like YouTube that'll come along. Again, I like it because I can watch it commercial free, and I can watch what I want to watch, and I can watch real people making real videos that I'm interested in. But you're trying to ruin it, Google. You're trying to ruin it for everybody. That's a shame. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching.